Christopher brings in $80,000 a year. You bring in $14,400 a year. How degrading to have your children say to him that he needs to work more, as if it's his fault that you and them don't have money.
I'm sorry if you think that I have done that, and I apologize for making you feel disrespectful by me.
Oh, yeah. I accept your apology.
I don't. I didn't accept that.
Hi, Susie. I'm Jane McCormick. I am in debt up to my eyeballs, and most of it is credit cards, and I feel that there is no light at the end of the tunnel, and I need help. Do you know how to feel it? When I first met my husband, I knew there was a connection there between the two of us. I was like, wow, you know, I felt that right away.
It was very soon after we met that I realized that I was in love with Jane. She was very smart and beautiful, and I really enjoyed being around her. After I retired from the Marine Corps, I went to school to become a registered nurse.
We moved to Washington because my mother lives here. I have never owned a home before, and so I really didn't plan on building such a big house, but you know, with 6 kids and my father living with us, we needed a bigger house.
When we talk about the house, that was all Jane's doing. She decided on the plans for it. She did all the paint scheme, the decorations, outside of the building, everything.
While we were building the house, I knew that there was going to be a problem in a way, but my husband said that he was going to work full-time.
Because I work a 3-on, 3-off shift, I'm not a full-time employee, and that had even gotten down to the children, where my children, who are 14 and 16, or even younger at the time, were criticizing me and telling me that I had to get a full-time job and I needed to make more money.
Not having enough money coming in has been such a big burden on me that when there's not enough money, I end up using credit cards. And using the credit cards just to make ends meet. We owe, I believe, over $50,000, $52,000, $53,000.
I feel that there is nothing more that I can do. I don't think I can make any more money in the current situation. I mean, I'm working every extra shift offered me. I'm going in early when people call me, and I'm not spending hardly anything. Typically, after my paycheck, I get either $40 or $50 from Jane to last me for the 2 weeks. I count myself lucky to be getting that allowance, and I'm always grateful when I get it.
I feel in bondage because of all the finances, the bill paying, having to take care of all of it on my own. Having debt is taking years out of my life.
Whoa, taking years out of your life. Jane and Christopher, so you got to hear that. I just saw it for the very first time. And I have to say, many, many things struck me as I was watching it. But Christopher, I just have to ask you this one question. You said that when you met Jane, you totally enjoyed being around her. You knew you were in love with her, or however you said it in your words. Do you still feel the exact same way?
Absolutely. I'm very happy to be married to Jane, and she's the only person for me.
Got it. And Jane, do you still, we're already crying here. Okay, girlfriend. It's like, do you still, or do you feel that way about Christopher right now?
Yes, I do. I love him very much.
You love him very much. And the reason that I started this interview with that question is because when a relationship is based in love, when a relationship is based in honesty, anything and everything is possible. The other thing that struck me, and there were 2 things that struck me here, well, actually, a whole lot more than that, so I'll just take them one by one, is, Jane, why did your children, the 2 of your children, how did your children know to tell their father, your husband, that he needed to work more and make more money, and they didn't know to say to you, Jane, Mom, you're only bringing $14,000 a year home. Why did they not say to you, Mom, you need to go out and make more money? Why was it on Daddy and not Mommy? How did that happen?
Well, a lot of times when they want some money for extra things, you know, or necessities, I would say I don't have any money at the moment. you know, I have bills, and so I was also taking care of, you know, the kids, you know, taking them to school or other activities.
You're not answering my question. You're evading my question. You're
That's
telling
true.
me, no. The question was, why did the kids think daddy needed to go out and make more money versus mommy needed to pitch in and make more money as well? Where did that come from?
Part of it probably is because they, good question,
All right,
Susie.
now stop there. Good question, Susie, because it was. Because Christopher brings in $80,000 a year. You bring in $14,400 a year. And
Right.
when I asked you to, if you loved each other, and you said yes, part of loving each other is respecting each other. And somehow all of this has been put on Christopher, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to let Christopher get off easy here. Trust me, I'm going to get you in a second, Chris. Right? But right now, if you respect somebody and they're the love of your life and they're your partner, how degrading to have your children say to him, this is a Marine, to say to this man that he needs to work more as if it's his fault that you and them don't have money. Christopher, let me come to you for a second. When they say that to you, can you tell your wife how that makes you feel? Because I know how it makes you feel. I know how it would make me feel if I was making $80,000 a year. How does it make you feel?
Well,
Tell
I was
her.
angry and frustrated, very frustrated. It was demeaning. It was very, very hard to take, embarrassing.
Yeah.
Didn't like it at all, of course.
And Jane, did you know that it had that effect on him?
First of all, Susie, I've never heard them say that to him, so I'm actually shocked that he's saying that because I have never heard it from them say that to him.
So now that you know that they said that to him, they had to get that from somewhere. And they had to
Right.
most likely get it from you. They didn't just make that up, they got it from you.
I know that's exactly where they got it, because they were parroting the same words that Jane had used before about how I need to get a full-time job, I need to get a better job. And I heard all of that from them, both of them, on different occasions.
So Jane, I'm going to stick with you here for a second.
Sure.
For Christopher to work more than he's working right now, he needs energy to be able to work more than he's
Right.
working right now. He needs to feel powerful and a reason to work more. When you degrade a person, when you make them feel less than, and you start saying these things about them, he gives up. There's no reason for him to try because he doesn't have the family unit that he needs. He doesn't have the support that he feels he needs. I'm sorry, tell me if I'm wrong here, Christopher, because I don't want to put all this into your mouth, but I have a feeling I know exactly how you're feeling. Because let me tell you why. This man was a Marine, and I work with the armed forces a lot, and they do not give up. And I have a man here who doesn't have that drive. Why doesn't he have that drive? He doesn't have that drive because why, Christopher? You answer that question.
Because I don't have the support from Jane, or I didn't have the support from her. I think she's better now.
So you're getting better. But I think you owe him such an apology, I can't even tell you. And the other thing that bothers me is this. You do not put a husband on a $50 allowance that he should be happy that he gets, and he chuckles in that. There's no way he wants a $50 allowance. He makes $80,000 a year. You make $14,400 a year, and we have a negative net worth. If we look at your finances and we look at everything that you owe, We have a 56-year-old, a 48-year-old that has $54,000 of consumer debt. You're underwater in your home. You have $375 in an emergency fund. You have no money in investments. You only have $16,000 in retirement. And you have a negative net worth of $60,000. And you think it needs to be all on Christopher? Listen to me, Jane. It's on you, too. So what is preventing you from working 40 hours a week, 80 hours a week, doing anything that you need to do to make sure that this family survives? What prevents you from doing that?
Nothing really prevents me from doing that. I know I do need to work more. That's why I wanted to contact you, because I know we needed professional advice.
Right.
And I needed to hear the truth.
So here is the truth. Many things need to happen here. The first thing, just let's deal with the money very quickly here. I would like you to go to NFCC, which is a debt management program where you'll work with a counselor and they'll put you on a 5-year program, and before you know it, you'll be out of that debt. You are both going to work more than you're working, because for you, the two of you, to turn this around when you are in your mid-50s and 40s, it's not going to be 4 days a week or 3 days a week. Right. It's going to be 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, or you're going to be in such trouble later in life.
Right.
It's not even funny. We're going to have a master plan here, and the family's going to figure it out. But you are never going to turn these kids against their father again. You owe your husband an apology. Give it to him.
I'm sorry if you think that I have done that, and I apologize for making you feel disrespectful by me.
Oh, yeah. I accept your apology.
I don't. I didn't accept that. Because what you said there was, I'm sorry if you think I did that. You did it. You did it. So you have to own what you did for it to be a true apology. So can you just try it one more time for me? And Christopher, will you stop being such a wuss? Like, I need you to say what is true for you, what you feel, so you can get your power in this relationship. Because if you continue to be a little boy with a $50, allowance that doesn't say anything and just goes and does everything that they do, it's just ridiculous. Because the truth of the matter is, as an RN, you could go get a job at a hospital and make so much more money. You could do everything that you need to do, but you've settled for this because, in my opinion, you don't have the energy or the desire to do anything anymore. So we have to help you there, and I understand that, because I know once we light that spark in you, watch out, the Marine in him will come back, and he will face the financial battlefield, and he will win. So once again, Jane, owning what you did, can you apologize to Christopher now?
I apologize for disrespecting you. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
I can.
And I think he can. You guys, you can do this. I have no doubt. But it starts with being a team, making your kids part of the team, and both going out and getting full-time jobs. We're going to keep track of you. I want to see you again, and I hope this has helped you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Susie.